What's up, y'all? A little bit about me before we get started today. My name is Brandon. I'm 16 years old and I've been into fitness my whole life. My dad played college football at the University of Memphis and he kind of started me with sports and fitness and weight training. So I would play football, then wrestling, then track with no breaks. But last year, I dislocated my collarbone from my sternum. So it's kind of dangerous for me to play contact sports right now. So that led me to powerlifting and bodybuilding. And right now, since it's winter, I've been putting on some weight and I've been getting stronger. So I found a powerlifting competition and it's on Valentine's Day, about halfway through February. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be training for the powerlifting competition. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's going to be Monday push, Tuesday pull, and then Friday leg day. So I'm going to film every Tuesday and Thursday training for the powerlifting competition. So I can kind of take y'all with me. Alright, see y'all in the garage. Welcome to the garage. Today is a squat and deadlift day. So I'm going to warm up on squat. I think it's worth telling y'all that it is 6 a.m. in the morning because I like to sort of get this done in the morning so then I can edit the video and get it out in the afternoon without sort of running out of time. So we got 3 sets on squat. I think I'm going to start with 300 for 5, 315 for 3, and 330 for 2. That should be how the progression goes today. So let me get warmed up real quick. Alright, I'm back. We got 300 on the bar. I got a little water. And I just want to be totally transparent with y'all. I did put on knee sleeves off camera. They're under my pants. But I'm not using them because I'm soft or anything. But I do want to get used to using them because in the competition, you can use knee sleeves for the Raw division. So I don't want to not use them. And then I get into the competition and then I put them on and it feels weird or uncomfortable or anything. So I'm just kind of getting used to them. All right. The first time I hit 365, which is my max for squat, I did it with the knee sleeves. And then maybe 3 or 4 days later, I did it at school for max week without my knee sleeves. So they're not adding a crazy difference to total strength. All right, I'm going to shut up about the knee sleeves. It should be 5 reps, but we'll see how it feels. All right, y'all. 315. We're going for 2 to 3, hopefully 3. But the last set felt a little heavier than I would have liked it to. But anyway, 315 does a really good job at getting in my head, if that makes sense. I feel like in my head I make it heavier than it actually is. So I've been working on not getting in my head so much when I lift. But one thing that actually really helped me with that was I don't work out with him anymore. But I used to go to the gym with one of my friends, and he's probably one of the funniest people I know. So while we were bench pressing or lifting, he would tell a joke before, and I'd still be thinking about it and laughing about it, during the set, and sort of learning how to push through, even though I was laughing. I don't know if that makes sense, but that sort of helped me get out of my head. I don't know how to explain it. I guess because I was not thinking about it so much. Anyway, 315. Let's grab. Alright, y'all. Another thing that helps me before maxes and heavy working sets is I'm pretty sure I got this from Arnold Schwarzenegger, but envisioning myself doing it. In my mind, sometimes you gotta close your eyes. But you're thinking about it, and then you're seeing yourself and feeling yourself do the reps or do the weight. And that actually really helps me. So 330. This will be the top set, 2 reps. I'm gonna rest a little bit longer. Alright, that's probably enough resting. We're just gonna get to it. We're going for 2 reps. Hopefully we can make it happen. Alright, y'all. I got all in my right headspace, and then my 7 o'clock alarm went off and cut the video. So here we go. I gotta get back in there. I could feel the doubt creeping in my mind after the first one. And then after that one, I was like, holy cow, that was actually pretty heavy. And then I could feel it in my mind. So I was like, no, I gotta do it because I'm already thinking about not doing it. Alright, y'all, if y'all heard that. After I squatted the first one, and then I went for the second one. But in between, as soon as I got the first one, I was like, oh my gosh, that was actually pretty heavy. I don't know if I'm gonna go for another one. But then after I did end up getting that one, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the next one. As soon as I had that I don't know thought, I knew I had to just go for it anyway. I mean, at this point, if I fail, but at least I tried after thinking about that. All right, I'm gonna set up for deadlift. I promise I'll work on the ankles a little bit later, but I'm sort of running out of time today. So I skipped warm up, or I didn't skip warm up, but I skipped filming the warm up. So we got 315. We're going for 5, and then we're gonna go up like we did on squats. So deadlift has always sort of been my worst lift, and it's really no surprise. I mean, I've hated doing it forever, but which led to it being my worst lift. My dad actually told me like a lifting cue that's made me sort of like it a little bit more. I used to like go down here and like elongate my arms before I would grab it, and then I would squat into it and pick it up. And then that would lead to this back all bent and stuff. But my dad actually told me go up to the bar like this, like usual, but then up, back, and down. Puff out your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, and then just squat down like that and pick it up. It may sound stupid, but it works. So that's really all that matters. Another thing about my dad that I didn't tell y'all up there, in college, he says 600-pound squat, 405 bench press, and 405 hang clean. One of his favorite stories to tell about weightlifting is that he has 600 pounds on the bar. 605, I think, maybe 615. But he has that on the bar, and he takes it up, and the weight is just flapping around. And then he goes down, and it starts flapping. That's like his favorite story ever. Anyways, I'm gonna get this real quick. 5 reps, chalked up. Yeah, don't laugh at my deadlift face too much. I know I look kind of silly sometimes. Another thing about the powerlifting competition, I am competing in the 90 kg weight class, which is about 200 pounds, 198 pounds, and it's teen division 2. So it's going to be 16 and 17-year-olds. I'll be 16. So I can technically do the same thing next year. But I would love to do good. But it's really more for me, just to give myself something that I'm competing towards, because I really can't do anything but weightlifting anymore. So it's just nice to have something that's like a goal that I'm going towards. So as much as I would love to do good, it's really for me. My weight right now is around, well, I was 190 before Thanksgiving break. But then my biggest problem is I just like forget to eat sometimes. Like if I'm doing stuff, sometimes I'll just forget to eat. So like 187. So I lost 3 pounds over the break. But me and my friend got a little competition. Me and a different friend that I go to the gym with now, we got a little competition. So he's sort of been a bigger guy his whole life, and he's around 214, 215 right now, and I'm around 187, like I said earlier, or 186, 187. So we're sort of close distances away from 200. So Christmas Eve, we got to weigh in, and if I'm over 200 or he's under 200, basically whoever fails, it's $20 to the other person plus an hour of cardio of choice. So anyways, we got, what is this, 335? No. Yes, it is. We got 335, hopefully 3. Deadlifts for choosing weight for deadlifts for me, sort of uncharted territory because, because I don't really do it that much. But I do got to get better at it. So anyways, let's get this 3. Don't be disappointed in me if I get 2, but I am going for 3. So chalked up. First rep is always the hardest on deadlift. So we just got to get it up one time, and then the rest should be a little easier. Come on. Can y'all even see the weight? Hold on. Sorry. Side thought. Is that better? Okay. It's heavy. Okay. With how that one moved, y'all think a 5 or a 10? Let's see. This is 335. 2 10s would make it 355. I gotta do some thinking. Hold on. 355 or 345. On squat, 330. I said about 30 pounds away from my max. So then My max deadlift 385. 30 pounds away from that would be 355. But I'm a little tired. I'm just gonna put the 10s on. I was feeling a little soft when I said I'm a little tired. So we'll just do this and see what happens. Don't be too upset with me if I fail. Alright, seeing as I did wake up early to come out here, something that helps me a little bit with motivation and like doing it and like waking up early and coming out here anyway. It's in there in the house. I have a little notebook. I like write down my workouts, write down weight and reps and stuff. But in the back of it, I have a page. I think at the top it says reasons why. So basically, you could type motivation, anything like that. But basically, in there, I write down like maybe stuff that gets me mad, maybe stuff that gets me sad, maybe stuff that just like fills you with motivation and stuff. So over summer, about at the end of summer, I had an aunt that lived next door to me, and even though she lived next door to me, I didn't see her that much. And my last memory with her, I drove up and I found her at the mailbox, and she was on the floor after she got her mail. And then I went over there and I picked her up because I was strong enough because of all this. So I picked her up, put her in her car, and then she got to her house. And then she called my dad and she thanked him and told him that I was really strong. But then, like a week or two later, she passed away, and I wish I got to spend more time with her. But anyways, I put that in the notebook, and it's just it could be stuff like that, but it could also be happy stuff. But anyways, if you're feeling unmotivated or whatever, you could look at that. It kind of gets me motivated. Okay, I probably got to stop talking and go. I'm gonna be late to school because I do got to shower. All right, another side thing. It doesn't. It's like I don't care if you're like religious, not religious, or you have a different religion. Personally, I'm Christian, so I do like to pray before my workouts to hopefully make it a good workout. So it helps me. It makes me feel like there's someone else with me. Even if my friends are there, I'll still do it. It helps. Like I feel like there's someone else watching me. Someone who like helps me pick up the weight a little bit, even though it is me. But anyways, I like to pray before my workouts. So here we go. This will be 355. Staying 30 pounds away from my max, just like I did on squat. Don't be too mad at me if I fail now. I told y'all deadlifts are sort of uncharted for me. So don't be too mad. My God. There you go, boys. I did give y'all a little extra one, a little extra bang for your buck. The second rep just felt a little too good. All right, a little side thought I was thinking about. This isn't really about weight training too much, but I told you about my aunt and how even though she lived next door, I didn't spend that much time with her. But apart from that, or with that, spend time with your family or friends or people you love, because it really can be taken away just like that. I woke up one morning, it was just like any other morning, and she was just gone. So spend time with them, because nobody really controls when people go. All right, that's it for today's video, y'all. I'll see y'all Thursday for bench. Bye.